Well, isn't this just a sight to behold? Something about seeing this game finally being playable on a handheld like this is just amazing. I know technically it's playable in other ways with the Switch or whatever, but like the fact that like I can play this like natively on the console now, it's just so nice. Oh, it's going to think good. In some ways, this has sort of been a long time dream of mine to have this game, Kingdom Hearts 1, or really just the whole series in general, just on a handheld like this. Like, when I first found out about the series, when I first got into the series, I only had, like, Nintendo systems. Like, the only thing I had that could realistically play Kingdom Hearts was on the 3DS, and so that means, like, I could only play, like, the side games. I couldn't get, like, the main, like, KH1, KH2, KH3, because those were all on the PlayStation consoles at the time. That's all they were on. So, and like, literally getting a PS4, like, the whole reason I got a PS4 was to finally experience these games, because I had watched walkthroughs of these games. I had seen, like, so many videos about, like, how weird of a crossover this was between Disney and Final Fantasy, just so how complicated the lore got. I was just, like, watching all of these lore videos from, like, GameXplain and stuff, seeing, like, how complicated and intricate it was. It just hooked my brain on so much. And so, and you know, by the time I got into this series, like, the Nintendo Switch was coming out, so I always wondered, well, maybe they'll get Kingdom Hearts on that. Like, you know, maybe that'll be the way I can finally play that. So, you know, I sort of waited for hope. Maybe, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, maybe they'll announce that for Nintendo Switch. It's on PS4 and Xbox One, maybe it'll happen. And then I watched gameplay for the first time, and, like, in 2019 when the game came out, I was like, okay, this is too pretty for Switch. It's never gonna happen. And that's what eventually got me to buy PS4. But I always still held out hope that it could happen at some point. At least 1.5 was 2.5. And, well, it kinda did, except not in a good way. Like, cloud versions on the Switch I think are fine if you only have a Switch, but otherwise, they don't really help that much. They're not, like, you can't take it anywhere outside, anywhere without Wi-Fi. Like, that's just kinda, ugh. It's always sort of been this fun quirk about the Kingdom Hearts series, in that it's spread over so many consoles. Well, like, you know, like, people may often think of Kingdom Hearts as, like, one of these major console titles for the PlayStation consoles. I think it's just as much a major Nintendo series, or like, at least for Nintendo handhelds. Like, they were on there consistently. Like, Chain of Memories on a GBA, Days on the DS, Coded on DS, Dream Drop Distance on 3DS. Heck, even you can consider Melody of Memory a Switch title, considering how it goes back to the old engine, probably so that it could actually run on Switch with no problems. Like, there's a lot of compromising, I think, specifically for that Switch version. But throughout all that time, we've never had a way to, like, have KH1, 2, and 3 in a handheld. Until now. I mean, technically, you've been able to do this for a couple of years, like, considering these games have been on the Epic Games Store since, like, 2022. And I have actually bought KH1 on Epic, hoping to somehow get it through all the Proton layers and get it working on Steam Deck just fine, because I had done that previously with KH3. Because, you know, I wanted to experience all the mods, and that was one I was most excited for. But, like, the thing about installing all those layers to get Epic Games working on Steam Deck, it's a nightmare. The folders change every few months, so you have to constantly go back through the layers and such and update them all, and then Heroic signs you out sometimes, and there's no password saving. It's just a mess. I don't like it. I'm so happy I never have to go through that again. Like, I just do not want to do that. It sucks. But this doesn't. Being able to play this on Steam, being able to play this, like, in the actual, like, main Steam menu, and, like, not having to, like, worry about any of the desktop stuff, like, being able to fully take advantage of all of this stuff that we have on Steam here is just amazing to me, and I love that so much. And so, you know, I bought this game pretty much the day it launched. I bought, you know, the whole Integral Masterpiece for the discounted price, and I got all the games on there, and I've been chugging away at KH1 for the last few weeks, and I fully beat the final boss last night, and I just figured I'd sort of talk about it for a bit. Talk about my experiences with it, talk about what it was like to play it on a handheld for once, and what I loved about it, what I didn't like about it, and just sort of have a low-key type chat about it. I got some notes on my laptop here, so we're gonna get through it. So how about we just hop in, and let's just get that feeling here. Come on. Yeah, as you can see, I basically made saves for basically every important moment throughout this game, because I just wanted to be able to just jump back in if I wanted to just go back to this one particular boss, this one particular moment and such. I could just go back to one of these old saves and just replay it from that point in time. I think it's also good because in the future maybe get to help capture footage for specific moments, even though I have been using the capture footage thanks to all the Decky installments. Those things are lifesavers. But yeah, let's just hop in here and just start talking about this. Man, just looking at Sora like this. Yep, just moving around all good. It's like I'm playing this on PS4, except I'm not. How about we get out here? Okay. So honestly, okay, so everything you've seen in the videos about Kingdom Hearts, saying how like, especially the old games run pretty well, it's all true. Like, this game is running flawlessly at 60 pretty much all the time. There's a couple moments where it sort of seems like it's lagging a bit, or at least it feels like there's a bit of slowdown where there's like a lot of stuff happening on screen. I don't know if that's just because like I have it downloaded on SD cards, maybe that's not as powerful as it could be, but I don't know. Like, for the most part, it's been very smooth. It's been really nice. But yeah, of course the cutscenes are still in 30 FPS. I don't really mind that as much. There will be times where I'll notice like, oh, those look a little more choppy than the main stuff happening on screen. But like, you know, like 30 FPS cutscenes and 60 FPS gameplay is how I first experienced the PS4, so it's not that jarring to me for the most part. And again, this is pretty much exactly the same as it was when those HD collections first released. Like, there's not much changes here. Well, except a few, I guess. Let's get the big one out of the way here, the AI upscaling. So, all of these games, specifically for the Steam's release, have been up-resed for Steam. They been up-resed by AI, from what I can tell. Like, there's been an increase of, like, texture quality, but, like, all of it's been done through AI, and I gotta be honest, I can't tell the difference. Like, this to me looks the exact same as it did before. There's not that much of a... I don't know, I have a hard time telling difference in graphical quality, so I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert on this. But I will say, one instance where I think it's the most obvious would be with text and such. Like, the letters here do look a bit... They look both blurry and distinct at the same time in a way that it definitely wasn't in the original. Like, the original I think was just all blurry, and here it's like you can tell like some letters are just sort of like whited out a bit, like the S's don't have their outlines, but then these do. I don't know, like it's... And then like the H doesn't have its gap, like it's like, it's trying to be readable and not readable at the same time, and that's because there's no way an AI would account for that. So, but like, again, that's a very minor detail, that's not really anything big in my opinion, it's more just like a background thing. In general, I don't like the idea that like AI is sort of handling all of this on its own, and that like there's nothing else going on. Like there's no like people like being able to account for like any mistakes like that, but I do get for stuff just like making it look better, I guess, like it does help to sort of decrease the labor, I suppose, especially when there's like 5 games you gotta go through with this in order to get it out in a timely manner, so I guess we'll just chop it up to another list of Square Enix's problematic choices in the last few years, let's be honest. Something else that I noticed early on when I was playing these games, and I think they've... Oh, you can kind of see it, I think. When the game first launched on Steam, I noticed right away that the shadows weren't really acting right. Like, they would constantly just flicker in and out a lot, and mainly in the cutscenes, I think, was most noticeable. Like, in normal gameplay, you barely notice it. And like, again, I think since there's been enough updates to be like, okay, we can fix this, we can get this done so it's not like flickering anymore. I think that's what happened here. It's gotta be an easy fix, I'm sure. But that I'd say was like the one major like across the board problem when it first came out, which is that there was a lot of just weird shadow work that hadn't been worked on. I don't know if that line made sense, but like it. But yeah, I'd say that was a big thing. Because again, I haven't checked since. Where would be a good place where it'd be obvious? If the shadows weren't working. I mean, if they were. Because like this, like across the board is happening. Like right here. Did you. It's something about these lights where they're flickering a lot. I can't tell it's because of the lamps or not. I don't think it is. But like. I think it still happens in small moments, but it's not really that noticeable. And it's not terribly that big of a deal, in my opinion, if the shadows are going in and out of the time. You're looking at the shadows most of the time in this game, for the most part. But yeah, let's talk about how I'm actually using this on the Steam Deck. Like, for most part, the gameplay's really nice here. I'm not... The actual grip of the Steam Deck I've never been a full fan of, because it feels very heavy, like, sort of Wii U gamepad type feeling, but like, also, you sort of get used to it after a while. You don't... Like, after a few hours of playing, it just sort of settles in a bit. But then you go back to Nintendo Switch, and it's like, oh, my hands can actually, like... I don't feel the weight on them anymore. It's weird. But... Yeah, yeah, everything here I'd say is alright. I never liked these pads. Like, they feel, like, way too pressure sensitive to me, so where I'll just randomly go into first-person view like this. And also, it's just... I feel like there's some dust getting in these little cracks things. I don't know, I don't like these things. I'm sure for Dream Drop distance it'll be a lot more helpful, but like, I don't know. And also, I will say, the speakers, I don't know, they're not really the best in my opinion. I don't really like how they sound, so most of the time when I'm playing this, I'm using headphones, like... I don't know, like, I feel like you can hear a little buzzing in the audio right now, but that might just be me. I'm gonna leave this on, I need water. One major thing I've noticed about this game, and this is something I've also seen with many other people online when playing, is that if you turn off the game right now while you're still in gameplay, so now it's shut off, right? Then we turn it back on, and I've noticed this when I've done it myself, the music gets a lot crunchier. The music just tends to like just get a little like crunchier. It's not just I don't know what other way to explain it, but it's hard to like, you hear a lot more buzzing in it, especially if you're listening with headphones. I don't know, maybe you can't really notice it right now, I guess. I think it sounds the same right now, but like, I think I was like playing in like during the Halloween Town section, and it just got, you could hear like the moments it was like peaking and like hearing nothing but buzz. I don't know, maybe how about we go back to that section, see if it's, maybe we turn up a bit. Okay, so maybe that also got fixed, because it seems to be doing fine right now. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. But I know this has been a problem. Like, literally, I was here, like, what, last week? This is the thing I like about Steam and Kingdom Hearts and what they've been doing. They've been updating this game so much over the last few weeks. Like, I get notifications of random download things for these games, like, basically every day. So... it's really cool that they're supporting this game, that they're making sure to, like, buff out everything to make these as definitive experience as possible. Like, the fact that we can just have this on any possible device and just be able to have the best quality possible. And to be ensured that is because we've had all of the bugs worked out. It's really awesome, and I love that so much, and I'm glad that this wasn't just a single drop and then we're done. They really are supporting this really so much, and I'm so happy for that. I think while I'm here, one thing, this isn't really as relevant to like problems or like things specifically with the Steam version, but one thing I just want to point out, I've actually been using the Gummy Ship stuff. Like, I've just been doing a regular playthrough, and I actually got into the Gummy Ship stuff, like, of my own volition. Like, that was all me. Which is weird to say, because, you know, it's memed on a lot that the gummy ships are, like, the worst part of KH1, and it's true. They're very hard to get into, especially for a first time. And I think part of it might be because it's, like, my, I want to say 4th time, maybe 5th, playing through the series. Or no, not the series, but, like, playing through this game. So I think, and I've also platinumed it on PS4, so I've already had to go through, like, getting pretty thorough with the gummy ship already, so I figured, let's just be thorough with it again, because I already do plan on getting all the trophies on Steam as well. So yeah, this is I've called it overkill, because it's literally just every single thing I could get, just throw it all on here, and just have a ship that I could use for anything. And I haven't done a lot of missions. I've completed the 3rd mission in Wonderland thus far, and how about I show you, actually. I haven't done much of the missions. I've done all of the Wonderland ones thus far. I'm planning on tackling Traverse Town, because I've done that one before. Maybe also, I think Deep Jungle is what I've done before. Olympus, we'll see. I have the ultimate now, so maybe I can handle that, but yeah, like, it's just, it's honestly not that bad once you get into it, once you understand what you're doing, which admittedly, the controls are very weird, but I will say, one thing that's nice about, I almost feel like it's easier to get into this on the Steam Deck, on a handheld device, because I feel like it's easier for me to get frustrated with the controls of almost anything, really, if I'm forced to just, like, sit down and on my bed, in this instance, and just sit down on my bed and just watch the TV as I'm, like, struggling with myself. Whereas here, it's right up on me. I can see exactly what I'm doing with pushing what buttons and such. And, like, it's right up at me, and, like, I can, like, put it down and, like, just walk away from it if I have trouble with anything. Like, it feels like it's an easier way to just split my attention and not get as mad at myself for not understanding certain things. So, like, I think on a practical level, I do think I enjoy being able to do a lot of this long-form stuff on the Steam Deck. It's just, yeah. It feels nice. It just feels nice, especially with, it has a good enough screen to where it's, like, I feel good, like, dedicating time to it. Because, like, it's weird. I don't normally get this way about handhelds. Like, I've played Pokemon on the 3DS, and in general, I don't like to grind in those games. I don't like to grind on games I play in 3DS in general, because it's just, I think especially it might be just because it's a smaller screen and very low res, and it's just hard to, like, sink into. I'm just, like, hunched over it almost. I mean, not that I'm not hunching over the Steam Deck right now even, but, like, it's, I think because it's a big enough screen, like, bigger than my phone screen at least, it feels a bit more premium. It feels like it's worth the effort in that sense. $400 worth the effort. Was it 500? I can't remember. It was a pretty penny to get this, and I've solely just got it for Kingdom Hearts, but I'm so happy I did, because this has been a really nice experience. Really nice. I've mentioned already that, like, there's some weird slowdown that happens, or, like, weird, like, just the game is struggling a little bit to keep up with things for some reason. Like, I think the main times I noticed again was just, like, if there's a lot of enemies on screen, and, like, there's a lot of, like, particle effects happening, like, sometimes it's not like a full freeze, and it's not like a drop in frame rate or anything, but it feels slower somehow. I don't know how to describe it. It's weird. Maybe I could show it somehow. Where would be a place? Where are Green Requiems right now? Let's just look that up real quick. Come on. Oh, my computer's struggling here. That's the other thing. I have an i3, or I think it's i5 Intel Mac currently, so I cannot play games. I cannot play many games on this thing, so that's another reason why I like having the Steam Deck for PC games, just because I don't have any other way to realistically play things. So that's been nice. Let's go Deep Jungle. Let's just try that. See if I can find some there. So let's just see if we can capture this with normal gameplay, what I'm trying to explain here. How about we just get some example of what good gameplay looks like? Like this right here. Everything's very smooth. Everything's working exactly as it ought to be. Just your classic Kingdom Hearts gameplay right here. Getting ASMR on my buttons right now. I do like the clickiness of the Steam Deck. I like how all the buttons sound on this thing. It's just very nice. I did not know that was... Oh, that's how you get the research note. I'm just now realizing, because I don't think I ever logged onto the clothesline. I think I just knew from online. They use it, they put in the potion, I think. Yeah, again, everything's fine here with Dark Balls, with Wizards, with all the big enemies. I've never had trouble with these guys. I think it's mainly just like, I think it's Green Requiems where it's happened. Where there's a bit of like weird slowdown thing going on. And again, they might have patched that since. I don't know. Are they not here? I think I picked the wrong place. Whatever, I need to grind here anyway for Wyverns. So, this is working twofold for me. I'm getting the video done and I'm... Let's... Okay, maybe if I go up. Are they up here, baby? Okay, I think they lied to me. I think the internet lied to me. That's fine. That usually happens anyway. Are you up here? Oh, there you are. Yeah, so usually with Green Requiems, with all these sparkles on screen, I think I've noticed it, like, kinda slows down a bit. Particularly it's like them and, like, other guys on screen. I think I just lost my point because they're gone now, but... I swear it's happened. I will... Okay, go over here. You guys go over here. And then if we... I don't know, I'm not noticing anything different now, I guess, but I swear when it has happened. I think it was in Monstrum maybe it actually happened, so I don't know, maybe this is not a good example. But like, again, it's small, it's minute, and it never drops in frame rate. Like, I've checked, it's not a frame rate thing, I think it's literally just like... the game itself is like slowing down a bit, which I don't fully understand. I don't fully get all the technical expertise of this stuff, so don't... I'm fully just playing this right now. Okay. But yeah, like, gameplay otherwise is very smooth. That felt like it slowed down there a bit. And okay, you noticed that too, right? You noticed the shadow right here. This is what I was talking about. It's like specific angles, specific spots, I guess, where the shadows don't work for some reason, but... Yeah, again, these are very minor details, and you, like, again, I'm literally going out of my way to point these things out. In normal gameplay, it's just smooth. It never... It doesn't really run into that problem often, and from what I've seen at least. Alright, you know what, I'm gonna take advantage of some saves here, because I think I gotta, to establish my points on some of these things. Where would be a good place to go for Tigger? First I'll save the task screen. I didn't save. That's fine. I'm just remembering I didn't save, so all that gameplay you saw is just poof. It's fine. Whatever, I can always just make it back. I'm gonna grind to level 100 anyway in this. I've already committed to that. Joke's on you, I like to play more of this game. Right here. Right, yeah, so now this is an old save here. This is after I beat Halloween Town, and this would be when I got my 4th Torn page. The only big cutscene I've noticed where there's some slowdown happening is like when Tigger's hopping in the bouncing grounds in 100 Acre Wood. So I'm gonna check that here to see if it's been patched at all yet, if that's changed at all. I don't think it has, but we'll see. And just be clear, yeah, because that's the one before. So it'll be this one. I don't think I've done it yet at this point. I have not? Okay. Let's see if it still works. Let's see if it... Or actually, I know what it was. I think it was the audio syncing with it. Let's get the audio going here. I think... Actually, let me fail here. So then, I gotta do it again. Then, I don't think the audio fully synced up here. I think that was the main issue. I think the audio not syncing up was the main issue here. So let's see. Yeah, so you can kind of hear, like, the audio isn't fully synced up with Tigger's bouncing in that moment. I don't know if that was also an issue in the original version, I guess. This is something I'm just noticing now, if that's the case, but it feels a little off to me. That's like the one moment, I think, where, like, things weren't fully synced up, is just with these hopping things. Maybe there's other moments I just haven't fully listened in as much, but that was, like, the main thing. Which, honestly, not that bad, I'd say. Here it's fine, I think. I think it's just that one moment. There's one bug in this game that I would consider pretty major, and it was very off-putting when I first got into it. So when I first got into the end of the world, there was basically no music going on until I first went to an enemy encounter. And normally the music is going when you first enter. So let's open that save up. See if maybe it was just the moment I was playing that I was just doing something weird. But let's see if it's a consistent thing. Right, yeah, so right now there's no music currently. I saved right when you first disembark into End of the World. So normally there's supposed to be music going in once you walk in here, but when I first played this there wasn't any. And normally there is supposed to be for these cutscenes.
Gorge, is that all that's left of the worlds taken by the Heartless?
Those worlds will be restored if
Yeah.
fix them, right?
So I believe there's normally music here.
But if we do beat him, and all these worlds become restored and disconnected, what's gonna happen to this place? And to us?
I do wonder, because if I skip the scene, does it start again? No. So as you can see, it's fully silent here. You're just hearing the ambience of the darkness in this place. That's all you're getting. But then, once you get the enemy encounter, that's when music starts up again and everything's fine. Let's just... I have training limit on, thank God. Yeah, so now it goes back to the field theme once you've reset everything. So, okay. So this is the one thing. This is the one time where things are working not as they should be, because there should be music at the start there. That's how it's been before. And I will say something I also noticed is that, like, this little, like, rock here, the farther you go back through it, the more it just looks like it gets a little, like it's losing its rock textures, and we're seeing just more of, like, the blue lines here. Like, you can kind of see it here, but it also looks like it's like a light bulb or something. I don't know how to describe it. I took a picture of it, actually. Let me... right here. Can I zoom in? No. But yeah, like, it fully looks like it's just, like, some sort of electric dome or something. But, like, that's the only time in this entire game that I noticed where the textures fully just, like, go out of range. So, you know, props to them for this being one moment. The one time it happens. I suppose. But yeah, I hope that is something they fix in the future, because that is, like, you can already see it. And I don't know if it's something that's in the original, and I'm only just now noticing it, but like, I don't know, it feels odd to me. But yeah, honestly, other than that, everything's been working great, and honestly, I've enjoyed just getting to play this game again, play Kingdom Hearts 1 again, through almost a fresh new experience, just to be able to play this in my hands, just like anywhere in my house, anywhere outside, and just getting just fully relish in this game that I love so much. And I'm so happy that it's finally on Steam Deck. I'm so happy that I get to just have it closer to me without having to like plug in and use my PS4 all the time. And yeah, I'm planning on getting through all the games. I'm planning on playing all the games on Steam Deck, and I do hope eventually these can be the definitive ones, because honestly, being able to have these on any computer I got with the Steam account is amazing. Getting to play these on Steam Deck is amazing. I'm so happy this series has fully gone away from just being stuck as a PlayStation thing, or just as a Nintendo handheld thing. Like, we're eating very well as Kingdom Hearts fans, and I'm just so happy. Don't mind me just enjoying walking around here for a bit. Yeah, see that? I don't like that. But yeah, thank you for watching whatever this is. If you like this kind of me talking half unscripted, half kind of scripted, because I have notes on the side here. If you like what I've been talking about here, like and subscribe. I do hope to cover more Kingdom Hearts content in the future, more gaming content in general as well. And if you like this format, let me know. Doing more of this kind of stuff could be nice, actually. I don't know how else to end it, so may your heart be your guiding key. See you next time.